I rise to announce that the movement to impeach the president has begun. I rise to announce that I will bring articles of impeachment against the president for dastardly deeds proposed and dastardly deeds done. I also rise to say that the impeachment movement is going to be a grass-up movement, not a top-down. The people have got to move forward. The people have to demand it. And when the people demand it, it will be done. I did it before. I laid the foundation for impeachment, and it was done. Nobody knows more about it than I. And I know that it's time for us to lay the foundation again. On some issues, it is better to stand alone than not stand at all. On this issue, I stand alone, but I stand for justice.
President Donald Trump's proposal for the United States takeover of Gaza has taken Republicans by surprise. His press secretary told reporters Mr. Trump is not committed to have troops on the ground in Gaza. Sky News Washington correspondent Annalise Nelson joins us live now. Annalise, take us through the reaction today. There's been plenty of it.
Well, look, some people are calling this a walk back from the Trump administration, saying that his officials are trying to cushion what was an extraordinary announcement yesterday and unexpected by just most people in the world. But by the same token, this is a Donald Trump strategy. He does want to keep the people he's negotiating with on their toes. The fact we have Benjamin Netanyahu here in Washington, D.C. throughout the week where they're negotiating with Hamas around how phase 2 of this 3-phase ceasefire deal will progress. And so when he talked about owning Gaza, the fact that it was so provocative and so lacking in detail about the mechanism by which to do that, that's where a lot of this analysis has come in. Today, watching what's happening with people saying, well, how would that work? What are we actually talking about? And of course, the question on most Americans' minds is, if we're going to take over Gaza, does that mean American boots on the ground? So this is what the press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, had to say today.
It's been made very clear to the president that the United States needs to be involved in this rebuilding effort to ensure stability in the region for all people. That does not mean boots on the ground in Gaza. It does not mean American taxpayers will be funding this effort. That he expects our partners in the region, particularly Egypt and Jordan, to accept Palestinian refugees temporarily so that we can rebuild their home.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth today at the Pentagon. It was there both leaders spoke before the meeting, saying that they were happy with the alliance. They think that this is a strong moment for the relationship between the US and Israel, and both said that all they know is that right now something needs to change with how this part of the world has been managed.
I would just say to the question of Gaza, the definition of insanity is attempting to do the same thing over and over and over again. And as the President and Prime Minister pointed out last night, the President is willing to think outside the box, look for new and unique dynamic ways to solve problems that have felt like they're intractable. So we look forward to more conversations about that, creative solutions to that. And as the man tasked with leading the Defense Department here, we're prepared to look at all options, as we've said before.
We're willing to shoulder the burden of our defense, but by confronting the forces of radicalism and terror and the forces that are anti-American at their core. They call you the great Satan, and they call us the small Satan. We just stand in their way.
On Capitol Hill, Republicans have been cautious about the idea of supporting Donald Trump's plan. In particular, Libertarian Senator Rand Paul took to Twitter to criticize it, saying the pursuit for peace should be that of the Israelis and the Palestinians. I thought we voted for America first. We have no business contemplating yet another occupation to doom our treasure and spill our soldiers' blood. Here was another Republican senator.
Look, there are a lot of ideas that are coming out to try and address what is clearly a crisis in that region. We'll see where it lands.
Well, we've got all the land we can handle right now, I think. I get that the United States has a leadership role, obviously, in the Middle East, but Gaza's not ours. Israel seems to have a pretty good handle on things. If Israel wants help with Gaza, or wants help rebuilding Gaza, Donald Trump's a great builder. And I think when Donald Trump sees a strip of land that's being wasted that way.
Laura, for a long time it's been said of Donald Trump that you need to take him seriously, not literally. This may well be within the parameters of that particular saying when we're talking about his approach to Israel-Gaza.